Hey, people. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is the MWHY Radio Network. I am your host this evening, Latisha M. So excited to be with you all today. Just looking forward to having fun and, just debating a great movie. Well, that some people would say great. Some people would say it's just subpar. But, hey, I am just looking forward to having fun and including you guys, the audience, and the discussion that is going to be going on between myself and the infamous Abwon, YouTube sensation, Twitter and Instagram guy, and just a kid who thinks he knows about movies, and I'm here to kind of put him on blast, and let's see how he is going to feel about this conversation when we're done. We may not even be friends after this show. I don't know. We got to see how this is going to go. But before I actually bring on Abwon, I want to play, and it's a long clip, so you guys, sit back and listen to the review that he originally did for Batman versus Superman. And then we'll have some other stuff for you guys a little bit later on in the program. But here it is right now, Batman versus Superman.
Bonjour, my fellow oxygen inhalers. This is Abwon, and this is the very first installment of Before You Watch, spoiler-free film and TV reviews. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there anticipate these blockbuster movies or TV shows on Netflix and TV like CBS, whatever may have you. You may not be able to watch it opening weekend or the season premiere, and you're tired of going on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Vine, whatever may have you, and the first thing you see is somebody spoiling everything for you. I didn't even know Superman and Clark Kent were the same person. Hashtag mind blown. And the whole time, all you're doing is staring at your phone like, really, bruh? Like, you just ruined everything for me. Well, have no fear, Abwon is here. None of that is happening with these reviews. None of that. Spoiler-free from top to bottom. I'm going to give you my honest reviews, my honest opinions. They may be a little harsh at times, but hey, that's why y'all love me, right? Well, if you've been living on planet Krypton for the last 3 days, the biggest movie out right now is Batman versus Superman. It's number one in the box office. I anticipate it being number one in the box office next week as well. I don't know what's coming out. I don't think it even matters. I really don't even care. It's made $70.1 million in its opening weekend. So the first two things everybody wants to know before they watch this movie: one, who wins? And two, how was Ben Affleck? Was the movie good? Did it live up to the hype? DC been putting out some garbage. Like, what's good with this movie? Should I even bother go seeing it? Ben Affleck can't even play Daredevil. How's he going to play the Dark Knight? All right, simmer down. One, who wins? Well, I just told you that these are spoiler-free reviews, so I'm not even going to tell you that. You're just going to have to watch the movie. So let's get to number two. If the movie lived up to the hype. Ben Affleck being Bruce Wayne, I'll discuss that a little later, but let's just talk about this movie first. I'm going to break this movie down in 3 sections. I'm going to break this review down in 3 sections. Visuals, story, and pacing. I feel with action movies, superhero/comic book movies especially, pacing and visuals are absolutely essential to the success of the film. If the pacing is slow, people lose interest. They get bored. Yo, it's whack. It's mad boring. Ain't nothing going on. Yo, there ain't even no superheroes. There ain't no fighting like Fantastic Four. If the visuals are bad, people don't like it. Oh, yo, it's mad lame. Yo, it looks corny. It's mad low budget. Somebody made this on their Android, like Green Lantern. So let's just get into it right now. The visuals in this movie are absolutely stunning. The suits look good. The costumes look good. The buildings crumbling looks good. The special effects, the visual effects, everything looks good. Everything looks good. The Batmobile looks good. The Batsuit when he fights Superman looks good. Everything looks good. However, if you've seen a Zack Snyder movie, it looks just like the rest of them. Now, if you know who Zack Snyder is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. but I'm just going to assume that majority of the people that are watching this don't know who he is. They're probably wondering, like, yo, who's Zack Snyder? Like, why you name dropping? Like, who is that? If you've ever seen 300, I think he's done Sin City, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, The Watchmen, another garbage movie. He's done those movies. And if you know what those movies look like, this is going to look exactly the same. Now, if you haven't seen any of those movies and you strictly only watch movies on VHS and you have no idea what I'm talking about, okay, Zack Snyder films are very dark. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yo, it's the Dark Knight. Like, it's got to be dark. Like, come on, bruh. What I mean is there's no color palette in this movie. There's no Roy G. Biv. It's black, gray, white, a little bit of red, sprinkling like a blue, maybe some yellow or orange, but they still look red, and that's it. If you're colorblind, you're gonna have no problem watching this movie because you're not gonna have to differentiate anything. This movie could be in black and white, and it'll look exactly the same as if it did if you were watching it in IMAX. But with all of that, the visual effects still look good. The only issues that I really had with this movie, as far as visuals go, one, Doomsday. Doomsday looks exactly like Abomination from the Hulk movie with Edward Norton in it, like carbon copies. And two, whoever casted Alfred, first off, him and Ben Affleck are like the same age, and two, that dude looks just like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. They look exactly alike. So I don't know. Did somebody who used to work for Marvel that got fired work on this film, because it's just too many similarities. Like the whole time I saw Alfred, I'm thinking, yo, bruh, where's the mechanism in your chest right now? Like, I'm trying to see the Avengers. That's all I was thinking. But all in all, the visuals are on point. Wonder Woman was on point too. Now, about the story. Okay. I watched this movie with 6 of my colleagues, right? And one of them is another film reviewer. You'll probably see her on my channel from time to time. But she said she felt like this movie was a compilation of 6 short stories, 6 short films, whichever way you want to put it. And I agree with her 350%. You know that song by Young Thug, Lifestyles, and nobody knows the song. They just know Lifestyles. That's how this movie is. That's like how this story. That's how this story is. Like, you really only know what's going on here and there, but for the whole grand scheme of Batman versus Superman, as far as the story goes, it's extremely convoluted. And if you really try to follow it, you're just going to confuse yourself even more, because there were some times where I was scratching my head like, yo, what's going on here, man? And I'm a comic book guy, you know what I mean? It's not like I just casually watch these movies, but yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Like, there's some scenes that I felt they could have deleted. There's some scenes that I felt they could have put them at the end of the credits. Oh, there's nothing at the end of the credits, just so you know. There's absolutely nothing at the end of the credits, so don't even bother wasting your time. So, yeah, I felt like there were scenes they could have put after the credits, but yeah, it's just, there's going to be some scenes where you're just going to be watching and you're going to be wondering why are they in this film? Okay, I get it. Marvel's on phase 2 right now, and DC has barely implemented phase 1, so they have to put in as much content as possible to try to set up the rest of the films. Okay, I get that. Cool. That's fine. But at the same time, you don't want to confuse the viewer, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're going to have little kids in that theater watching this movie, and they're not going to have a clue what's going on in some of these scenes. So if you're going to get the DVD, you're probably going to watch the director's commentary. Well, I'm going to suggest that you watch the director's commentary and hope that the director knows what's going on, because there were some scenes that we had absolutely no clue what was going on. And that's pretty much the story for you. If you think you're going to walk in and you're going to watch, you know, the greatest comic book movie in superhero history, it's not happening. It's not happening. I don't want to say the pacing is as bad as the story, but it's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. I get it. It's a setup film. It's not going to be action-packed with tons of thrills and spills, adrenaline-pumping action scenes. You know what I mean? But come on, bruh. 3 hours? 3 hours. All right, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, but you're going to round up anyway. It's 3 hours. Yeah, the movie's 3 hours. It's incredibly slow in the beginning, and I can sit here honestly and tell you that the only hour that you need to watch is the last hour. The story's not very compelling, so you don't really need to watch this film in its entirety. I mean, it's Batman versus Superman. Like, we already know what these characters are about. There's no surprises there. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is. I watched this with 6 of my colleagues, and for the first 2 hours, we were talking. We were doing our own voiceovers, had our own commentary. So if you watch this movie by yourself, for the first 2 hours, you're probably going to be on your phone, like, constantly. You're going to be tweeting, texting, posting on Facebook. You might go live on Facebook. That's the new wave now. Yeah, that's what you're going to be doing. But once Superman and Batman have their first fight, this movie absolutely picks up. It just sucks that you got to sit there and wait through 2 hours to get to that point. Now, I'm going to say this one last thing, and then we can call it a day. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, because I know everybody is waiting for it. I honestly felt like Ben Affleck did a good job playing Bruce Wayne. I went on Facebook and Twitter. I saw people like, this movie sucked because Ben Affleck ruined Batman for me. You ruined my favorite superhero. DC sucks. Batman sucks. Ben Affleck sucks. Gone Girl was a good movie. But anyway, I just have one question for you. Like, what are we basing this off of? Because let's just be real here. Aside from Michael Keaton, no other person that's played Batman, or Bruce Wayne, I should say, has done a memorable job. Like Christian Bale, okay, all right. This guy wasn't even the best actor in his own movie. Okay. Val Kilmer, George Clooney? Come on, man. But Ben Affleck did such a terrible job. This movie is hands down better than Batman. It's better than any of the other Batmans outside of Dark Knight and the classic ones. So Ben Affleck didn't do that bad of a job. I mean, let's be real. Once Batman's on the scene, the stuntman takes the spotlight anyway. All Bruce Wayne has to do is show up in a suit, drink some wine, be witty here and there, and that's pretty much it. So I think Ben Affleck did a good job. Who I didn't think did a good job, though, was Jesse Eisenberg. And I like him. He's cool. I think he's a talented Michael Cera. But was he supposed to be Lex Luthor or the Joker? I mean, this guy was prancing around the screen like he had ADD and forgot to take his Ritalin. Like, he was all over the place. He was super giddy. He was giggling like crazy. And I was just sitting here like, what's going on with the casting here? You know what I mean? But, I mean, it just is what it is. All in all, though, I give this movie a 7. I give it a 7. DC finally got it right because, I mean, we all know outside of The Dark Knight, DC has been putting out some trash. And I don't mean in like the last 3 years. I'm talking like in the last 20. So they need to catch up tomorrow, and I feel like this is a step in the right direction. So if you're planning on spending $15 or whatever it is to go see this movie, I think you're going to enjoy it. But like I said, prepare to be bored for 2 hours. Yeah, so that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching my video. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Hit me up on Facebook, Abwon Udo. Hit me up on Twitter, Abwon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Abwon Over Everything. I got the website coming soon, so you guys can post things on there as well. If you have any suggestions, do not hesitate to hit me up and let me know. I'm definitely going to be reviewing more things, more TV shows, movies, things like that. Sorry this one was so long. I don't really like to keep my videos. I like to keep my videos shorter than 7 minutes. I had a lot to say with this one, though, and I just looked at it like 20 minutes, like, oh, no, that's no bueno. But, for people asking me why I'm not hitting you back on Snapchat, I don't have a Snapchat. That Abwon account you're seeing on there, I made that account years ago. When I was, this girl I was dating made me make the account, and I used it once and I never used it again. So if you're wondering why I haven't accepted your request, I'm not on there. So you might as well just delete it. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. That's all I'm on. That's all I'm on. And Tumblr too, but I'm gonna deactivate that account soon anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I'll catch you next time. Au revoir.
Au revoir, indeed, because we're not feeling that. We're not feeling that from this young man, Abwon. I do love him, though. That's my homie. So, I'm going to give him a chance to defend himself. But I'm definitely going to be on the other side of this review for this amazing movie. And I think it's probably only 10 of us that feels this way. But, I want to bring on Abwon so he can defend himself fairly. Like I said, this young man, he has actually been an exclusive movie viewer, meaning just watching so many different more movies than probably the rest of the world has for quite some time. His opinion is highly respected by his peers, and so we're not going to say what we think about the millennials. We'll let them have it, but they are definitely pushing waves, and their opinion is very strong right now in the U.S. because we want to make sure that we are creating products that these young people are going to be pouring back into. So without further ado, I give you guys the infamous Twitter sensation and YouTube movie reviewer, Abwon. What's going on, my friend? How's everything going on in New Jersey?
What's up? What's going on? It's hot out here, but I'm living. It's good. It's better than the winter, I'll tell you that.
Good. I know. So you kind of gave this, you kind of ripped this review. You weren't very pleasurable about the story, but you were passionate about the graphics. You were passionate about the decision. Ben Affleck was a good Batman. You didn't have any problems with that, and so I think the title is what is throwing everybody off. Batman versus Superman. When you hear a versus and you're looking at heroes or villains, you're thinking of it's going to be fighting throughout the time. So I need you to explain yourself so that we can kind of jump into this real quick.
Okay. Well, first, I did like the movie. I think I gave it a 7 point something. I did like the movie. I felt the story was a little convoluted. I felt like it was just jumbled up. I really feel like they could have made this movie into 2 separate movies. But I get it.
Mm-hmm.
They got to catch up or whatever. That's really the only issue I had with it. Everything else I really enjoyed. I would watch the movie again, to be honest with you. When it comes out on DVD, I'm gonna get it. I'm anxious to see and eager to see what they're gonna do as far as the sequel goes, or Wonder Woman, whoever's movie is next. I want to see what route they take. But yeah, no, I don't think I butchered the movie. Not compared to what I heard from everybody else. I think I did pretty good because some people was really going in some people. I've heard somebody say it was worse than Ghost Rider, and I don't know how that's possible. Like, come on, Ghost Rider, yo.
Wanted to give it a bad review. I think honestly, once Ben Affleck's name was kind of associated with being Batman, everyone already came in with an air of superiority that they could have even been a better Batman than Ben Affleck. And I think that wasn't even a fair judgment. I think for this story, for what they needed Batman to be and what they wanted an actor to portray as for his role, I think he did an amazing job portraying this Batman. Everybody needs to understand that this Batman versus Superman had to be a new revamp of Batman altogether because they ended the series.
Yep. And a lot of people don't understand that. Some people still on the whole Michael Keaton Batman, like they just can't see past him. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's a new day, it's a new age, it's a new Batman. There's a whole bunch of different, I guess, I don't want to say versions, but, the Batman goes through his little things in the comics. You got the Dark Knight and all that other stuff. Not everybody's going to be Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? But I feel like
I would say 15 years ago, we probably wanted Michael Keaton to play Batman. But the reality is we don't want him paying the kind of action that is required to be Batman right now.
He don't even want to be Batman anymore. That's why he made that Birdman movie. He don't even want to play Batman anymore.
I think at this point, Michael Keaton could be Alfred. You know what I mean? Like he's no longer in the right age group to be the Batman that we need him to be. So, we kind of got to let off of that. Now, let's talk about this 2 hours. The 2 hours,
Okay.
the hour, 45 minutes, however long it really was. I actually, as a comic book lover, as somebody who follows these different stories, that I get it, I understand it, it made sense, and I love seeing it. We had to get the story. We had to understand, where was Batman's hate coming from? Why was he gunning after Superman? And then, even to turn it around, why did Superman decide, I kind of probably need to put the Batman out of commission for real? So
True.
they had to build up the situations that was going on around it, instead of it's just, I don't like this guy, he's an alien, I want him gone. It had to be personal. And the build up to that story was showing how it was personal, not just to Bruce Wayne, to Wayne Enterprises, and Batman himself. But, you wouldn't know because you was in the theater tweeting.
Nah. Nah, I try for that particular movie. I definitely stayed off my phone because I wanted to make sure I gave that movie my undivided attention. I wasn't trying to go in there and talk on the phone for half an hour and act like I knew what was going on. But as far as what you said, as far as the story talking about the hate for those two guys have for each other, that part of the story I actually appreciated. I just felt like everything else just didn't need to be there. I felt like Wonder Woman really had no relevance to the story other than eye candy and the fact that she's going to have her own movie. She really had no relevance to the story. Lex Luthor, I understand.
We're going to get on him in a second. We're going to get on him in a second because I think me and you probably will really agree with whoever made that decision. Whoever wrote that script for him should be fired. I agree with that. But no, you know what? Even thinking about Wonder Woman's role in this movie, and like you said, not to give away, if you haven't seen it, if you had and you have an opinion, we definitely want to see you tweeting out to us and telling us what your opinion are. We appreciate opinions. And thank you, Miss Kitty, for listening live. So we have this character who hasn't had a lot of play in movies other than animation for a very long time. And so for people who are not into animation, for people who are not reading the comics, they wanted to kind of do a light introduction to Wonder Woman, show how badass she really is, but and also tie her in to show that she is an immortal. She is a, like when we're thinking about gods, I mean, like, we really need to it's not always just about the men. And let's look at the full title of the movie. The title is not Batman versus Superman. It's Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, a.k.a. Justice League. So that's why, we wanted to get a glimpse of Wonder Woman. We wanted to show that she was strong and can hold her own, that she was smart and intelligent. And yeah, a bad MFer, she's sexy, whatever, okay. I can't, for the movie, we always have to have a female in the movie to give that appeal and to keep the men in their seats when action is not going on. But also, I think them even previewing the other heroes to come, the way they did it was very smart. It didn't take up much of our time, but it was a good enough glimpse without them even saying names to see the Flash, to see Aquaman, and to see Cyborg. That scene was crazy. That was like mad scientist on a whole nother level crazy. But you know what I mean? But it was just enough peek into the future project to make sure that you stay invested in this brand.
I feel like that entire scene that you're talking about could have been saved for after the credits. You know what I mean? But it was a good scene. I did like it. I just feel like if they would have given that scene its really like its own introduction and outro, whatever you want to say, like after the credits, it would have built even more hype for the next movie. Not saying that there's not enough, but I just feel like it could have just added to the hype. I did like the scene though. Yeah, I did like the scene. But as far as Flash goes, I honestly didn't even know that was the Flash. I was like, who is this person like coming out of the out of the
yeah,
wall?
because
And they was like, yo, that's the Flash. I was like, oh, for real?
Or he don't look like or feel like the character of the stories that we've been told who the Flash is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a clean-cut looking average guy. He is supposed to be a forensic scientist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this kid, look, we're not going to go into his age because however age they decide to bring him in, that's really on them, whatever. But what I didn't appreciate about him is he just did not fit the profile that we know the Flash is. Every time they do the Flash, no matter whatever comic book does it, no matter what revamp they give him, I mean, even if you look at the TV series, it is this one profile, average white kid.
Yep.
And I don't know who that was in that movie. I know him to be the Flash, but I don't know who he was. But, I think that me and you both kind of agree on the Lex Luthor. And I want to give my opinion first because we heard your opinion already. You said all that you've come to say. You're just here to defend yourself at this point. But the Lex Luthor's character, as someone who has watched animation, read comic books, and can relate to any villain, most people who are powerful in their own right and entrepreneurs, I think we can all relate a little bit to Lex Luthor. He is a power. He has his hands in politics. He comes from a wealthy family and is very highbrow. But he's also supposed to be charming. He's supposed to be winning to the public. He's supposed to be older than Batman and Superman. Let's even go there. He is supposed to be bent on world domination. And the way that this character in the movie was portrayed, he was portrayed as psychotic, a rich boy with daddy issues, and someone who is a genius, as Lex Luthor is supposed to be a genius, but he was to me more bent on world destruction than domination. I mean, how did you feel watching this? And I'm not knocking the actor. He only did what someone wrote. He only portrayed the character that someone gave to him. But watching him in these scenes and his lines and his behavior, how did you feel about Lex Luthor?
I honestly felt like he really could have been the Joker in Suicide Squad. Or the Riddler in another Batman movie. Because just like you said, he's like a sociopath. He's like psychotic. He was really animated, like really, really animated. And I do like the actor. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, that's my guy. But just like you said, I just felt, I watched. First off, the dude is, in the movie, when they have this scene where it's him, Clark Kent, which is Superman if people didn't know, and Bruce Wayne, and he's like, oh, that guy's got a strong grip. I would not pick a fight with him or whatever. He looks so young around those two. Like, he looked like the little brother that was just, like, snuck into the party. And I was just like, come on, Lex. And I really felt through the entire movie, I really didn't feel like he was much of a factor as far as a villain goes. You know what I mean? You want to feel like, okay, Lex Luthor's really about to go in right now. I just felt like his character was just there. So, I mean, I don't know. Just like you said, go ahead.
To me, he felt like he was the product of the Riddler and the Joker. Yeah,
if you put those two together, and that's really just who you had. That's really just what it was. If that was his role, he would have played it perfectly. But as far as Lex Luthor, you ain't fooling me, bruh.
You're not fooling, right?
You ain't fooling me.
I mean, the way that the character is set up, we are expected to experience him again. We are expected to see him in future movies, which I'm actually kind of happy that we're in a stage in these type of productions where we're not killing off the characters, because then you have no villains if you keep just defeating them. But you know what, Abwon, we have to take a commercial break because we have to pay some bills around this joint. So, but I want you to hang in there with me because, we have a little bit more of this movie to discuss. And then I want to play your short clip, thank goodness, because you also reviewed the new Barbershop movie. Not 13
Oh, people
minutes.
tuning in for that?
Yeah, man, we're gonna play a little. We're gonna play that too, and we'll let you have your say on Barbershop. So everybody,
all right.
I want you to stay tuned. I'm sitting here with Abwon. Right now, we're talking about Batman versus Superman, the Dawn of Justice. If you have an opinion, we want you to tweet out to us. We definitely want to hear from you. You can tweet at Abwon, that's ABWON, or at MWHY Radio. We'll be right back.
This is Benita of Off the Vine with Benita and Terracina. Join us every Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the May We Help You Radio Network. Our show is simple. It is about wine, and wine is fun. Listen in and laugh with us. You'll never know, you just may learn something too. So grab your glass, you know that's the rule, and tune in for a most exciting hour. Hey, we're just two girls at work just waiting to wine up. Listen in on Fridays at 3 o'clock, right here on the May We Help You Radio Network. Off the Vine with Benita and Terracina. Something to whine about.
If you're the parent of a child with behavioral challenges that has been suspended, expelled, or just not able to make it in a traditional school setting, there is an alternative. Call the Metropolitan Day School today. Licensed and accredited grades K through 12. Call 804-321-2595. Financial assistance and after-school programs are available. Let's turn this school year around right now at the Metropolitan Day School where Eagles soar. Call Ms. Thomas today. 804-321-2595.
Masterclass on First Friday provides Spirit Journeys radio listeners the opportunity to meet the monthly guest experts face to face over dinner and wine. These guests are anxious and willing to answer your specific questions in order that you can claim your best self. Go to www.speaktoyourspirit.com. Click on Events for more information and to register, and then join us at 5:30 for Masterclass on First Friday.
In a fast-paced world, getting your message heard everywhere can still be a challenge if you're not connecting to your target audience. Allow MWHY Radio to assist you in getting your message heard on social media, video, digital magazines, on apps, and on our broadcast network. MWHY Radio's broadcast listeners tune in online through 10 terrestrial stations on iHeartRadio and during live events. Visit our Fiverr page for special offers throughout the summer to assist you in jumpstarting your advertising needs. That's www.fiverr.com/MWHY Radio. FIVER.com/MWHY Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is MWHY Radio. I am Latisha M. Just hanging out with a good friend of mine, Abwon. He has a YouTube channel, so everybody who has a YouTube channel thinks they have a great opinion, right, Abwon? Am I? But this guy actually he does great reviews, and I'm just kind of ribbing him. And if you have a comment or a question, and you're not in front of your Twitter, and you don't mind coming on and speaking your opinion live, you can always dial 646-652-2512. Remember to press 1. That will let us know that you have a question or comment, or you just want to say, I agree with what that person said, and all of that good stuff. We love to hear from you. As a matter of fact, during the commercial break, we did have a caller call in who would love to give her opinion. So I would like to bring this young lady on. Hello, young lady. How's it going today?
It's going well.
Excellent,
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I heard about this show, and I was like, I got to call in, because I saw the movie too. So
because everybody who saw the movie has an opinion, right? We all have our own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you were kind of defending, to a degree, Lex Luthor, and I'll let you go ahead and have your say on your feelings about the character.
Okay, so Lex Luthor, I felt that he was brilliant in how he manipulated two superheroes who are intelligent in their own right, very observant about what's going on in their community, to fight. The fact that it was planned strategically so that it led up to them fighting, that they had no choice to fight, so that he gets his way. Because at the end, his character historically is to, kill Superman. He can't stand Superman, and anything that gets Superman out of his city, he is happy. But Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs aspect of his personality really didn't like that. Like, I felt like they need to calm him down, sit him down, get a time out. You know how, I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie. What's this? Is it Save the Last Dance? No, not Save the Last Dance. What's it? Patrick Swayze, iconic saying, no one puts baby in the corner. No, somebody needs to put, like, Luthor in the corner and keep him there.
Wait, you talking about Dirty Dancing?
Yes.
Not dirty.
No, yes,
thank you.
Yes,
it is.
Oh, what's
yes.
Dirty? Oh, okay. I pulled the rabbit out the hat. I haven't seen that movie in, like, 15 years.
But it's an iconic saying. No one puts baby in the corner, and I'm saying in reverse, someone needs to put Lex Luthor in the corner. Because that right there,
Eisenberg, we don't mean you. We love you. We love you, Eisenberg.
It turned me off because if they didn't call him Lex Luthor in the movie, I would have thought he would have been the Joker, or somebody who historically we know as being kind of off. But other than that, take away from that part of his personality in the movie, I felt like the way he planned out everything was iconic to his character. And
absolutely,
the way he set everything up was actually very brilliant. So anybody who hasn't seen the movie, I would recommend. It's still a great movie. It really is. Just be prepared for certain things.
Thank you so much for calling in. Your opinion is very valuable, and I agree with you, young lady. I don't want to give out this young lady's name because I happen to know who she is, and I don't need you guys stalking her, so I'm not going to say her name, but I do thank her for calling in. I'm just going to kind of read a couple of quick reviews. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, like the film, they can be lengthy. So I have one reviewer here that says he felt as though this adventure was shoddy and it never got off the ground. Another reviewer says it was an improvement on Man of Steel, which I thought was great, but it made a much better Batman movie than it did a Superman film. Well, that's why Batman's name is first, and that's why we followed his story a little bit more closer, because it is geared more towards Batman. And if you know anything about the Justice League, you know that even though Batman never officially becomes a part of the Justice League, he's always seen as one of its top leaders and greatest minds there. So, when you're giving your opinion, I want you to know a little bit at least about the DC world before you do so. All right, so someone else said it was very long, very brooding, often exhilarating, and sometimes scattered. Do you feel that? Is that what you feel about it? Because I know that you felt as though some of those scenes were a little misplaced.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, the call is over. That's right. No, I definitely scattered. I really wouldn't say that. Lengthy, yes. What was the other adjective you used? Exhilarating?
Yes.
I don't know about all that, but but no, the action scenes, the visuals I think were on point, and I feel like the action scenes were really, really good. And I feel like this Batman that we saw, as far as combat, I feel like this is the best Batman we've ever seen in combat in any movie.
Angry. He was so
but you
angry, and that's
when he
what I love.
When he was attacking them. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, because even how he was even cleaning up Gotham, how he was attacking people without powers was more ruthless than any. You know what this reminds me of? Remember when they did the revamp on James Bond, and James Bond just became like from this fake billionaire playboy secret agent to like this ruthless, butt-kicking action hero. I kind of feel
they turned him into Jason Bourne.
You're right.
Yeah, they turned him into Jason Bourne. That's what they did to James Bond. They turned him into Jason Bourne. Because they knew what it was. They said nobody was going to go watch those movies if they was just going to be like this guy drinking like Chardonnay all day. Like, nobody was going to go watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now the Batman, like,
Bond is
if there's one thing I will say about, as far as this Batman movie, excuse me, compared to the Christian Bale movies, the Christian Bale Batman, I'm not talking about Bruce Wayne, I mean Batman. I never felt like his character was really that experienced in martial arts whenever he was fighting. You know what I mean? It's like he was, even when he was outnumbered, I just felt like he just wasn't with it. But in this one, you can tell, like, there was this one fight scene, and spoiler alert, I don't know if you mentioned that earlier, but spoiler alert, there was a fight scene after him and Superman, you know, piece it up or whatever. I guess he's in a warehouse or something like that, and he's fighting a bunch of guys with guns. That scene was so crazy. That scene was so crazy. And when this guy was like breaking their arms and breaking their limbs, and I'm sitting here like, we've never seen this type of Batman before in combat.
Actually, we have. You know where we've seen him at?
Uh-oh. Don't tell me the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
No, nope. The Arkham video games. That
room,
that total room, how he came in it, how he wasn't even everywhere they thought he was, he wasn't there. The how he was using their weapons against them. Batman is not known to carry a gun, but see, in Arkham, he is known to use one if he picks one up, because he knows this is not about capture and detain. This is about do or die. That scene, I think somebody cut that right out of a video game, and they just put people in his place, and
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
Great.
I definitely think so too. Yeah, that one, I feel like that scene was better than the Batman, than the fight with Superman, honestly. Even though I did like the fight with Superman a lot, I just felt like that scene with Batman, I felt like that fight scene was better.
And you know why? And like you said, and it's not to give away, we're not saying lines, we're not giving anything away. It's because Superman was holding back because he knew the bigger picture and was just trying to get Batman to understand it. Even when he got angry, he still wasn't, like, he could have laser shot him from across the room. He never had to get close to him. You know, when he was trying to get this man to really calm down, and when he got angry, he still was at a level where, all right, I just need to kind of beat you up a little bit to shut you down. So, like you said, that scene wasn't as great as that Batman scene in that warehouse. If you haven't seen it, save your popcorn until you know he's going to our warehouse. That's all we can say.
Yeah, because that scene is crazy. That scene is crazy. It's like a good 6 minutes, too. It's like a good 6-minute fight scene, too.
No, it just goes on. And, you know, this is the last review that I want to read, and it's because, like I said, I definitely hold the movie in high opinion, and there are a lot of critics who do not, and this is from the Washington Post.
Yikes.
And so I'm not even going to read the whole thing, but it says, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice begins and ends with a funeral, which is fitting.
Wow.
I'm just going to...
Wow. Wow. They just be going in. Like, DC can't catch a break sometimes, man. Like, yo, relax.
People have high opinions of what they view in movies. And so, you know, I know that we can't expect everybody to come in here and be a comic book lover. I know we can't come in here and expect everybody to be a lover of everything DC. But when you don't even understand the significance of the funeral that happened in the end, and you're trying to criticize the movie for it, you're doing a disservice for the people who are reading your reviews and hold you in high opinion.
Exactly.
The Death of Superman is actually a huge series long. Superman does die. His body is divided. I don't know how they're going to do it, but originally his body is divided into several different entities. and these people gained Superman's powers for quite some time before his powers are brought back into his being again. So I thought it was brilliant, and the scene where he's being held, because I don't want to say who's holding him, but when he's being held after he died and he's still in a man's hand, that's straight from one of the illustrations. I mean,
I had to pause and think what you was talking about for a second, but I know what you mean now. Okay.
Exactly. So it's like, to me, the writers, the directors, the producers, the people who were really, and the illustrators, the people who were really working on this movie, they really tried to put the best elements of a lot of the different comic books that were very popular. I mean, like that one comic book right now is probably worth thousands of dollars if you have it in edition because of, because it is of the death of Superman. And for
if you can find
for
it,
them to, I know.
It's so rare.
After this show, people are going to be trying to Google it and see if it's on Amazon or if they can get it on an auction. But it's definitely one of those scenes where they so captured that moment brilliantly for it to be live action. It is a dark movie, but Batman movies have always been dark.
Yep.
This is coming right after the battle with Zod from the Superman movie. So, and then it does go to 2 years later. But the whole thing is, what do you think society was going through? We just saw a battle where these guys rocked our planet and tried to destroy us. It is not meant to be roses and sunshine. It is not meant for Batman to be charming and walking around with his head held high. It was a lot of destruction. It was a lot of death. And we're dealing with real emotion. So I think as far as an emotional film, Batman and Superman, they nailed it. They are getting us set up for what we're going to be able to expect from the brand, and I'm just looking forward to it.
My question to you is, where do you think they go next as far as villains?
Wonder Woman.
Because
villains?
No, not like story. Like when they have their Justice League movie, not Aquaman solo movie. When they have the Justice League movie, who do you think the villain's going to be? Because I mean, Doomsday's like a pretty big player. You think they're going to just jump into Darkseid?
I think that they are going to jump into Darkseid because of the hints that Lex Luthor gives us at the end.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking
deep space.
Yeah.
The bell's been told, and remember, a lot of the times he doesn't come to planets unless he knows that it's life there that he can destroy. So.
And if Superman's out the way, he may bring Bizarro with him.
Because honestly, I thought that's who was going to come out of that pit. I'm going to be real honest with you because anybody who knows Lex Luthor knows that he cloned Superman more than once.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought, I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see where they're going with it. I mean, I'm really just happy that DC actually, they have some continuity right now. Some consistency because for a while I was looking like, yeah, you guys might just have to stick to TV, man, because come on. You know what I mean? I was like, maybe the silver screen isn't for you.
We gotta end our discussion here with Batman versus Superman only because you've recently done another review for the new Barbershop movie, and I want to play the review that you've done so that people who haven't heard it can hear it, and then we'll just have a few moments for you to expound on it. I haven't seen the movie, so you don't have to worry about me giving my half-behind opinions about anything. I don't have to interrupt you. But everybody stay tuned right now. We're going to play Abwon right from his YouTube channel, Barbershop.
What's that? Dang. My bad, y'all. What's up, man? It's Abwon, and this is Before You Watch. Spoiler-free TV show and movie reviews. This is the third installment. The first one was Batman vs. Superman. The second one was The Jungle Book, which was a few days ago, being promoted right now. And today it's Barbershop, or The Barbershop, the next cut. I thought it was the final cut, but it's the next cut, or Barbershop 3, which is what I'm going to be saying for the entire movie. Before I even start, it's so crazy seeing Ice Cube go from NWA and F the Police to Are We There Yet? Like, it's so crazy. Talk about branding. This man is a legend. That's my dude, too. We be clubbing. That's my dude, yo. That's my guy. Shout out to Ice Cube. But anyway, to the movie review, let's get into it right now. One thing I've always liked about the barbershop movies is that they give you a very interesting look into what goes on at an urban barbershop. Now, I got dreads, so you already know I'm not going to pro cuts and I'm not going to super cuts. They're going to look at me like, bruh, what are you doing? JJ's is down the block. So, so I already know what goes on there, but for the people that don't frequent, like, urban barbershops, they probably they're going to watch these movies. They probably seen these movies, and they're like, oh, wow, like, that's interesting. And this movie is no different. It's not as funny as the first two, but I feel like the writing is a lot better after the first 20 minutes. I mean, the first 20 minutes of the movie are super corny, like corny as hell. They're introducing new characters and reintroducing returning characters. Now, this movie, the barbershop is... It's combined with a hair salon, and we all know how catty females can be, especially dealing with alpha males, and I feel like that brings a very interesting and entertaining dynamic to this movie. Characters like Dion Cole, though, like the comedian Dion Cole, had absolutely no relevance to this film. Like, what were you even doing? His character... I felt like this dude didn't read the script. He probably got offered the role like 3 days before shooting. He didn't read any of the script, and what he did was he just prepared a bunch of jokes and came to the set and used the audience as, guinea pigs for his test material, and it failed. Like, a lot of times I was sitting there like, bruh, like, stop talking. It was a bunch of, hey, you thought that was funny. Well, the other day, blah, blah, blah. Nah, chill out. Stop right there. Chill. Yeah, and there was a lot of Dion Cole for the first 20 to 25 minutes. You're going to be sitting there scratching your head like, ugh, what did I get myself into? Like, did I really want to watch this? But after the hip-hop icon Tyga shows up and has his little scene, the movie absolutely picks up. It's good from there. After that, we good. From here on out, we straight. As I said before, this movie is not as funny as the first two, but I feel like the writing is definitely stronger. I feel like the acting is a lot stronger too. There were definitely some intense scenes. There were some scenes where I was like, wow, like, these people are really taking this movie seriously. And then there were roles, there was one particular role where it was definitely a serious role, and Eve was struggling not to laugh in that entire scene. When you watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying. Also, there are a few subplots in this movie. There's one subplot in particular that's really entertaining. Well, for me, it was really entertaining and interesting. And shout out to Meek Mill, too. Y'all, I don't care what any of y'all say, Meek Mill is winning. And when you watch this movie, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And shout out to the cameraman, too, because he knew exactly what he was doing when this particular character was on the scene. Anyway, there are subliminal messages in this film as well. If you pay close attention, you'll definitely notice them. If you don't know by now, the barbershop movies take place in Chicago, and we all know how that goes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then ignorance is bliss, I guess. Now, even though this movie is promoted as a quote-unquote family film, it's not. You need to be careful who you bring with you to this movie. If you're going to bring your 10-year-old child, I probably wouldn't do it. You might want to go take him to go see Jungle Book or something, because there's some cursing in this movie, man, and I don't mean the ones that they play on CBS. You know what I mean? Like, there's some cursing in this movie. There's definitely, like, sexual innuendo going on. I don't think there's any drug use, but just be mindful of who you bring with you to see this movie. This is probably going to be, like, a lot of couples in there anyway, but if you're trying to bring your kids, I probably wouldn't do it. The only major issue I had with this movie was the ending. There were like 6 of them. I don't know if the director just couldn't choose which route he wanted to go, but there were times where I was getting ready to leave, and then somebody else would look like they looked like they were getting ready to leave, and the movie kept going, and then we just looked mad awkward and just looked around the theater and sat back down like, oh, I guess Ice Cube doesn't want to end the movie yet. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, I really had no big issues other than that in the first 20 minutes, and that's why I give this movie a 7.8. I would have given this movie an 8 But if it wasn't for the multiple endings and the corny first 20 minutes, this movie would be a solid 8. But it's a really good 7.8 in my book, and I think that's my highest rating so far. And I'm not even that big on comedies. Like, I really don't even like comedies like that. But this movie was good. So I would go see it. If you're looking for a movie that's going to have you laugh hysterically, I don't think you should go watch it. You might want to go watch a movie like Zack and Miri Make a Porno, or like The Wedding Crashers, or even Neighbors. But if you're looking for a movie that's lighthearted, different from what's out right now, you know what I mean? You're not trying to watch a movie like Hardcore Henry or something like that. Yeah, I would check this movie out, especially if you've seen the other barbershops too. You should definitely check this one out. Now, if Ice Cube can put together a really good barbecue movie, I'm in there, bruh. We in there. With that being said, I'm about to be out. I think my next review is probably going to be Fuller House or maybe Daredevil. As far as the next movie, who knows when that'll be. I don't know. Maybe it might be Captain America. I don't know. Who knows? But until then, y'all, like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to this via podcast, search Abwon over everything or just Abwon on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed the review. You know I got many more. And be good. I'm out.
All right, everyone. So that was Abwon. Again, YouTube, just, phenomenal young man. So I want to bring you on one last time, Mr. Abwon. And, it's been several times during this interview that I've almost said your name. So, if anybody got enough money out there who wants to know this man's name, just hit me up. I might have something for you. But what is going to I love the fact that you said, if they were to do a cookout movie, you're definitely there. But, just in one sentence, what is going to get Porting Black Films and get them in their seats? Other than Ice Cube is just like, he's the man and he's everywhere. But what is going to get us in those seats and paying to see Barbershop?
You mean like from my experience as far as watching the movie?
Absolutely.
Or in general? Well, for the men it'll be Nicki Minaj, and for the women it'll be Common. There you go. That's pretty much it. But
I would
in
go
all
to
serious,
see Common. You've almost sold me.
There you go. But in all seriousness though, this movie, Barbershop, I've always liked Ice Cube because he makes, good, wholesome black movies. It's not like the same gang bang, shoot 'em up, blah, blah, blah. But this movie, if you have been tuning into what's going on in America as far as, Black Lives Matter, even politics, this movie touches on everything. It's based in Chicago. If people didn't know, there's like a lot of, gang violence and shootouts and things like that. They touch on absolutely everything. They even have, an Indian barber, a new character, and he gives his own input on how his family came to America, how they've been treated, this, that, and the third. If you're looking to see a drop-dead, slap-knee, funny movie, this is not the movie for you. It is funny. Some scenes are funny, but if you want to go see a movie where you don't walk out feeling dumbed down, then this is a good movie to see. And it's not violent like, Hardcore Henry. Or because I do want to see that movie, but that movie looks like super violent. Let them know how they can follow you, man. Twitter, Abwon. Go on YouTube, Abwon over everything, or I think you could just put in Abwon and I'll pop up.
That's what I did. Yep.
Yeah. I think I should pop. There's like a lot of religious stuff with the name Abwon on YouTube for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know. You put it in Abwon and you'll see that, and you can hit me up on Facebook too. It's the same thing, Abwon Uno. But either one of those, you'll be able to get in touch with me. That's pretty much it. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a Vine. That's pretty much it.
No worries about that, brother. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and humoring me and ribbing you a little bit. Thank you so much for taking it in good humor. And I know that we're looking forward to hearing more of your reviews on the network and seeing what you're doing out there in the world.
Word. Before I go, though, make sure y'all watch the trailers for 1, Doctor Strange, and 2, Birth of a Nation. Y'all got to watch those trailers, y'all. You have to. That's pretty much it. That's all I got to say. Oh, and we got it. We on the $20 bill. We on the $20 bill.
I know. I heard. I got my tweet today about it, so I'm excited about that. All right, everybody. So we're looking for, what was that, 2020?
2020. What you mean?
Isn't it 2020 that we're going to be on the $20 bill?
Oh, I actually didn't read the article. Somebody just texted me about it when I got out of jury duty.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys enjoy the rest of your day today, and we're looking forward to bringing you more reviews, courtesy of Abwon. Don't forget to check out his YouTube and follow him on Twitter. And we're going to leave you with something, a little bit all about that bass.
Because I'm all about that bass, no trouble.